Hello and welcome back. I'm Jersey Connoisseur, and here we are on the precipice of a new season and a new challenge for the Gunners as I go in depth today into the match that was. And first of all, I'd like to begin by addressing the fact that this is the first match of the 2022-23 Premier League season, and where today Arsenal will find themselves playing against Crystal Palace. And as we look at starting 11 today, it it was a very similar, but also a couple major additions to the starting 11 with their signings this summer, as I touched upon in my Premier League prediction video, and particularly the two most invaluable additions the three most invaluable additions were Gabriel Jesus at the striker, and William Saliba, who finally has officially made his debut and come back to Arsenal after a superb season at Marseille last year, and Alexander Zinchenko, who will add plenty of skill to the at left back, and particularly as we get into it now, and going down to Selhurst Park in London. This is a match that the Gunners would face difficulty and did last year when they played the Eagles, and particularly I believe that they ended up losing one match at minimum, and definitely struggled in both matches. But in this first match, that did not seem to be the case, as they dominated early on with great chances from Gabriel Martinelli and Zinchenko alike. They looked like they were on a mission to realize their potential that I have invested in them in my Premier League predictions of the season. And as a result of their determination, it would pay off in the 20th minute off of a corner kick where Bukayo Saka put in a great strategic cross to Zinchenko, who's at the back post, completely unmarked, might I add, and he was able to head it back into the middle, where Gabriel Martinelli was able to put his head on it and give Arsenal a 1-0 lead. And such a great use of teamwork, and Zinchenko was really at the right place at the right time, and he is really good. He has very good defensive awareness. He has very good awareness on the pitch at all times, and I think that comes from the fact that he is so versatile. And obviously this time in Ukraine, being able to play a midfield, and he will be a crucial asset for the Gunners to use in the rest of the season. As we continue for the first half, not a lot of other notable events aside from Granit Xhaka. For new season, same Xhaka. Obviously, he gets a yellow card. In this case, it was a little bit harsh, as he was caught for simulation, an anomaly in his case, but nonetheless, it was the right call. And while the Eagles struggled throughout the entire first half, they did get a decent chance at the end of the first half with Jordan Ayew. He put in a good chance for Odsone Edouard, who just hit it over the post, and it would end up being deflected over for a corner, but nothing else came to avail. And at the end of the first half, the Gunners led 1-0. And now going in the second half, now the heat seemed to and the pressure seemed to cool for Arsenal, and that with obviously the burden of getting that one goal out of the way, and they seemed to kind of get back to their game, as Crystal Palace did dictate what Arsenal is capable of in the first half, as they played very defensive, and that would continue in the second half, even despite being down 1-0. Crystal Palace never really amounted that much of a attack, even with subbing on a Mateta. Any chance that they did have, such as one early in the second half that Eze got a really good foot on, was easily handled by Aaron Ramsdale and put out to pasture. And nearing the 80th minute or so, Arsenal decides to switch things up and substitute on Kieran Tierney and Eddie Nketiah. And that seemed to rejuvenate the Gunners, as a couple minutes later, Bukayo Saka, who was not having the greatest of games, to be fair, but still was, I mean, he delivered in a great cross to put Arsenal up ahead. His hard work finally paid off, putting in a great run past Tyrick Mitchell, and with the intention of crossing in the middle, but it turns out that it deflected off of Mark Gay, who was one of my players to watch out for Crystal Palace this season, and past Guaita, making it 2-0 Arsenal. And that's how it would end, with Arsenal taking a decisive 2-0 win at Selhurst Park. And overall, not a lot to make out of this match today. It's a great start to the season. I hope they can build upon this match. And they don't really, they're actually Arsenal are kind of sheltered with a relatively easy schedule the next couple of weeks, with taking Leicester City next week, and then Bournemouth, and then Fulham at the end of the month. They definitely can't take those teams lightly, and all of them had very mixed results this week, with Leicester City getting a surprising draw against Brentford, and then Bournemouth and Fulham putting in two very quality matches of their own. They're definitely clubs not to take lightly, and hopefully they can continue this form into the rest of the month. The Gunners are are steady at the moment, and there's really no overwhelming or big flaws that they showcased in this match today. And with that being said, and overall, my man of the match today goes to Bukayo Saka. And while it wasn't his typical excellent performance, he was still above average, and putting in a goal which should have been his, and a secondary assist. It was a great start to the season, and I hope he can only build upon this match, as he really came into his own in this match today. So anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed my reaction, and join the Arsenal fan experience next time as Arsenal takes on Leicester City. Arrivederci.